Hey there guys, it's Showcase Watches today bringing you a video about Rolex and basically how to beat the authorized dealer. As we know, the authorized dealer for Rolex, they play these ridiculous games of waiting lists and VIP customers and all the rest of it. If this was true, if Rolex really did have a supply chain to their VIP customers and their true collectors and the people who never sell a watch and all these fairy tales that Rolex want to believe, there would be no Rolex on the market. There would be no secondary market for Rolex, which we know is huge. If you look on any big reseller of watches, whether it be Watchmaster, Watchfinder, whoever you source your watches from, you will find that there is double the Rolex for sale as the Omega. So Rolex, there's double the amount of Rolex models for sale as what there is Omega for sale. And that's just the truth of it. Go and have a look at any main reseller and you'll see it for yourself. Now, Rolex tell us, or the authorized dealers tell us, that they only want to sell watches to preferred clients, and anybody who flips a watch will be shot at dawn. It is what happened to me. It is how I lost my authorized dealer relationship. I had an authorized dealer relationship with a Rolex AD. I bought a Submariner Hulk. I bought a 114060. I bought a Batman. I bought multiple Tudors. I bought quite a few watches from this authorized dealer. I sold the Batman 6 months after purchasing it. And when I went back into my authorized dealer to put my name down on a Pepsi, I was simply told, no, you are not welcome to buy hot models anymore. You can buy out the window, but we will not put you on a waiting list and you will no longer have that VIP prestige position within the company, which was a bit of a kick in the teeth, but I learnt a valuable lesson, one which I have not repeated. However, it has also taught me a lot about the authorized dealers and what really matters to these people. So I've spent the remaining years since then learning how to beat the system and beat the ADs, and that is what this video is about. So, as many of you guys know, I've collected Omega for a number of years. I started out as an Omega fanboy. I then moved to Rolex in around about 2015, 2016. I then went back to Omega, and now I've gone back to Rolex. And, you know, you flip between these different watches. It's not that I love Rolex any more than I love Omega. For brands, I actually love Omega more than Rolex. But the watches, I prefer a Rolex watch to an Omega watch, but I prefer the brand Omega to Rolex. So make of that what you will. So here I have a collection. I have my collection of Rolex watches, which is ultimately my retirement collection. This is my retirement from collecting watches. I don't feel I have to add any more Steel Sports to this collection. I think I'm done with it. So I'm just going to go through it all, show you the watches, explain to you how I purchased them, and ultimately how I beat the authorized dealer. So first of all, we have here the Rolex Explorer 2. This is the black dial, the 42mm. This is the watch which the rumours are, and I tend to believe, is going to be discontinued in the next few days. April 7th is looming, and that is the day when Rolex are going to be announcing their new watches, and they have left a teaser indicating that the Rolex Explorer 2 is going to be discontinued and replaced with a new model. So this one, it's been a bit of a dog of the Rolex range for a number of years. It's never had its heyday. It's never had its hype. I think that day is coming. I think the hype will come with this watch very soon. I'm hoping they shrink it down a little bit. The 42mm is quite a large watch. It does wear a bit dinner plate like on the wrist. So I do hope they slim it down a bit. But I'm a big guy, 7.25-inch wrists, so I can pull this watch off quite easily. The only downside of this watch is when you've worn it for a few days and then you put something like an Explorer 1 back on the wrist, it does tend to make the other watches feel a bit smaller. So, but this is a beautiful, perfect tool watch. Probably one of the only remaining tool watches in the Rolex catalogue. It's the steel bezel, so it's made for tool. It's made for... it's a night-day watch. It's a caver's exploration watch. It is a watch made fit for purpose, and it does it perfectly. So really, really cool watch. So I'll put that one to one side. The next one, my Rolex Submariner, the 126610LN, needs no introduction. Obviously, the Rolex Submariner, goes back in history to 1950s. This is the 41mm version. This is after the super case, so they did the super case, the 40mm super case, which a lot of people felt was a little bit out of proportion. Personally, I didn't mind it, but I will say that Rolex have absolutely nailed the proportions on this watch. Absolutely nailed it. They've shrunk the distance between lug to lug, so from the outer edges of the lugs, that distance has actually shrunk in, but the internal measurement, lug to lug, of the bracelet has increased by 1mm. So they've made it bigger, but somehow made it smaller. And they've just done a fantastic job of manipulating a few measurements and made an absolutely perfect. This is the perfect Submariner in my opinion. Absolutely perfection. Love this watch. So I've got this one. My next one, I'll just put this one on its thingy. So my next one is my Rolex GMT, the Batman. This is the Batman on Oyster. So this watch, I've owned this watch for quite some time. This particular watch is one that I purchased after I sold the one that got me the boot from the authorized dealer. So I bought this watch brand new from the authorized dealer. I had it for 6 months and realized the polished center links just wasn't for me. I sold the watch, lost my authorized dealer relationship, so I completely destroyed that, and unbelievably, a year later, decided I really wanted the Batman back. The center links didn't bother me that much not to have it in the collection, and I purchased another one. And isn't it funny how it goes? If that had never happened, I probably would never have lost my authorized dealer relationship, and I would never be making this video. So yeah, it's just funny how it goes around. So this watch I picked up, again, it was brand new, box and stickers, but I did buy it on the grey market. Absolutely love this watch. Probably my second favourite watch in the collection. Absolutely love this watch, and you can see the condition of it is minty mint, and yeah, beautiful watch. So I'll put this one to one side, and I'm purposely putting them to one side because at the end I'm going to show you them as a collection and just explain how I purchased them and how to beat the authorized dealer. The next one is the Rolex Explorer 1 39mm. So this one again needs no introduction. Rolex Explorer 1 39mm Mark II dial. When I say Mark II dial, I mean it doesn't have the T-Rex hands. This one again pre-owned. Got this from somebody who follows the channel and who follows numerous channels which I do, and we speak a lot in the chats. This beautiful watch wears absolutely fantastically. It's a 39mm watch, but because of the layout of the dial and because the lack of rotating bezel, it does wear and feel a little bit bigger. So it wears more like a 40. Absolutely beautiful, stunning watch. Yeah, love this one. It's a great piece to the collection, really understated. You can wear this watch every single day. You can wear it to work. You can wear it whether or not you're going out for a social event. You can wear it to a formal function, or you can just wear it with shorts and a t-shirt. You can wear this watch with absolutely everything. So beautiful, perfect watch. And then the final one I'm going to show you is the jewel in the crown, and this is my retirement watch. It is the Rolex Daytona Panda. Now, this one has just arrived in the collection, so it's new to the channel. I've not announced this one or shown this one yet, so this is new to the collection. This is my retirement watch. So, as I mentioned earlier on in the video, I am retiring from buying watches. I'm not retiring from collecting. I still collect watches. I have my collection. The collection is going nowhere. But this is my retirement watch. This is the watch that caps it off. This finishes the collection. I've got nothing more to buy after this. This is a grail. This is this is the end game. So obviously the 40mm Rolex Daytona Panda. What can I say? It's perfection. I never really understood the hype around the Daytonas until I got one. and this thing is next level superb. It really is next level. This is going to be a special occasion watch. It's not going to be something that I'm going to bash around in. It is going to be a special occasion watch, but this is a work of art. To have this in the watch box just to look at is enough. Putting it on the wrist, going out, enjoying it, it's just next level beauty. Absolutely phenomenal watch. Love this watch. This is my favourite. And it's not because of the price. It's not because of the hype. It's not. It is just Rolex have done this to perfection. I love chronographs. I am an Omega Speedmaster fan through and through. And I have defended the Omega Speedmaster in every debate. When a debate has been had between a Daytona and a Speedmaster, I have always stood the Speedmaster's corner. Now I have a Daytona, and I have the Speedmaster as well. There just isn't. They're not in the same league. The Speedmaster, you can wear it every day and enjoy it more. But from a work of art perspective, this is just beautiful. And I will do a full review of this watch in due course. I'm in the honeymoon with this, and this is some honeymoon. There isn't many watches that, yes, I like them, and yes, I get excited when I buy them, and yes, they make you happy when you buy them. This goes beyond happiness. This goes beyond any of those feelings. It's just absolute superb. What more can I say? It's perfection. It is absolute perfection. People say it wears a little bit small. I don't really feel that. I think it wears perfect. I just think it is the perfect watch. Is it worth the hype? 100%. Is it worth the money? No. On the secondary market, no, it's not worth the money. But it's certainly worth the hype and the attention it receives. It's a beautiful watch. So I'll put that one out of the way. And then just to bring them all back into shot, I'll put them in the box. I'll bring the box into... So here they are. And people have often asked me, what box do I use? And this is for those asking, this is the Rapport London. £399. It's a beautiful, beautiful box. With there, just a beautiful quality box. So we have 4 in the box, and we have 1 on the wrist. So 4 in the box, 1 on the wrist, and 1 on the winder. Because obviously I've got my Speedmaster as well. So what have I done here? Well, I've gone for the Rolex Submariner as my dive watch, the Rolex GMT Batman as my GMT watch, the Rolex Daytona as the chronograph, and the Rolex Explorer 1 as the land watch, the Explorer watch. And then the Rolex Explorer 2, because this is a perfect daily watch. It can take a beating. It's got the Cyclops for the date. It's got the GMT hand. Now, the GMT hand on the Explorer 2 is a day-night function. It's not really a GMT function, but it can be used as a GMT function. It's got fantastic legibility, and it's just a really cool tool watch. How have I beaten the authorized dealer? What's happened with this collection? How have I beaten the authorized dealer in this? Well, what level do you think you'd have to be with an authorized dealer to get these watches? They're all hot models in their own right. Yeah, maybe not so much the Explorer 1 and the Explorer 2, but certainly the Submariner, the Batman, and particularly the Daytona. What level of spend would you have to spend with an authorized dealer to get these pieces? Roughly £100,000, £200,000 to get a Daytona? To get a Daytona at retail, you would have to be spending colossal money. You'd have to be a big player. If you have got a Rolex Daytona from your authorized dealer at retail, I can pretty much guarantee you're spending some serious money with that authorized dealer, or you're very well connected with somebody. To get a Rolex Daytona, you've got to spend a fantastic sum of money. This collection, as you see here, I have bought every single one of them on the grey market or pre-owned from people that I know, I've spent a total of £16,900 over retail to get this collection. So £16,900 over retail to buy this collection. Now, if you were to be playing the authorised dealer game and jumping through the hoops that the authorised dealers tell us to do, you would have to have bought endless Tudors, endless Rolex models which are in the window that nobody else wants. The resale value on these watches, you would have lost your shirt on these watches. You'd have to buy Tudor, you'd have to buy Breitling, tags, jewellery, especially jewellery. And as we know, jewellery isn't worth a great deal when you walk out the store. It's not worth a great deal of money. You have got to spend serious, serious money to obtain this level of collection. Now, £16,900 is a lot of money to pay over retail. So, just to be clear, that is, you've bought these watches, and then on top of the value that you can buy them brand new, you've paid £16,900 on top of what you should have paid with the authorised dealer. That sounds insanity. I get it. I fully get it. That sounds insane. What I'm trying to say is, if you were playing the authorised dealer game and you were trying to collect this type of collection by playing their game, you would have had to have spent 100,000, 200,000, maybe more on jewellery, watches and other products from their store. Which you can then say, yeah, but then I've got, £100,000, £200,000 worth of goods which I can sell. That's not true. If you spend £100,000 on jewellery, when you've left the store, it's probably worth 25 or 30,000. Whereas the way I've done it, I've spent £16,900 over retail and obtained this level of collection. I'm not recommending that this is what you do. I'm just simply telling you what I've done. And I believe this to be the way to do it. I will not play the authorised dealer game. I was in with the authorised dealers. I wasn't playing their game. I simply bought a couple of watches, and when I went in, I was offered other watches, so I bought them as well. I wasn't purposely keeping my AD sweet so that I could get offered all the hot watches. It's just I accidentally built the relationship and I accidentally destroyed the relationship. Since then, I have learned how to beat the system. If you want to collect Rolex watches, this is how you beat the system. You just don't play it. You just don't play the game. You do your own thing. Ignore retail. Retail is a fantasy world. Some of us are very lucky to have these watches at retail. For the majority of us, retail is a fantasy. You need to be looking at the secondary market. You need to be looking at the grey market, the secondary market, eBay, Chrono24, to see what the market is doing and invest your money that way. Use that as the market. Don't use the retail price as the market. If you use retail as a market value and you're only prepared to pay retail, you are not going to own these watches. You will probably get the Explorer 1, you'll probably get the Explorer 2, you might get the Submariner. You would be very lucky to get the GMT. You would be extremely lucky to get the Panda. So £16,900 over retail I paid, and I've paid under secondary market value. If I break these watches down one by one, I could put them on the market and I could make money on every one of them. So who's the idiot? The person who plays the authorised dealer game, who spends colossal sums of money and then loses it in goods which don't hold value, or the person who refuses to play the authorised dealer game, purchases the goods at grey market or at least the secondary market prices and plays the game smart, who can then possibly, sit on his investment and walk away with a nice profit, or just know that he's in the market at the right price. That's what I would do. And that's what I have done. £16,900 over retail for a 5-piece killer collection. 4 watches in the box, 1 on the wrist. I couldn't be happier with the collection, and it is my retirement. Will I go back to collecting watches? I have no intention to. I have no intention to add anything to the collection. I have done Rolex to death. I have done Omega to death. Which brand do I prefer? I prefer Omega as a brand for the simple reason that if you're in watches, you can buy Omega, you can enjoy Omega, you can buy them from the authorized dealer whenever you want them, you can get them for 20 to 30% discount, you can just enjoy the watches. When you're bored of them, you can sell them. You're not going to upset your authorized dealer because there's hundreds of Seamasters, Speedmasters and everything available, so you're never going to upset your authorized dealer. You can play with the Omegas, you can have fun with the Omegas. They're not particularly investable, particularly. Some of them are, but majority aren't. You buy them 20-30% under retail, you can just enjoy wearing them and enjoy the hobby. If you're looking to end and think you're going to, just wrap it all up and retire, as I have done, or just, you just want to collect one watch every few years, I think Rolex is a good way to go. It's whatever floats your boat. For me, I've done Omega to death. I don't feel that I can do much more with Omega. I've thoroughly enjoyed the brand, and I've chosen to keep the one watch of Omega which I love, is the Omega Speedmaster. That is the one Omega which, out of all the Omegas, that is the one that I love the most, so that's the one that I've kept. The watches that I've got here in front of you are, in my opinion, the best in their sector. So the GMT Batman, Rolex own the GMT space. The Rolex Submariner, yes, I think it has the edge on the Omega Seamaster, but I think the Omega Seamaster is the better value buy. The Explorer 2, I think, is a great daily watch. A little bit on the larger side, but I think it's a great daily watch. The Rolex Daytona Panda, I think, is a fantastic chronograph, and it does beat the Speedmaster, albeit the Speedmaster is more of a daily wearer. And the Explorer 1, I think, is the perfect, I think you can call it a field watch. I think it's the perfect three-hand wind and go watch. I think it's an absolutely stunning watch that can be worn for any function. So in my opinion, this collection in front of you, I feel for me is perfect. My Speedmaster Professional, add that into the mix. I think that's the perfect 4 in the box, 1 on the wrist and 1 in the watch winder. A 6-piece collection. I do not think many people can grumble with that. Let me know what you guys think. Now, even though I have officially now retired from buying watches, I would welcome any watches into review. I'll still be talking about watches. I'll still be talking about releases. I'll still be talking primarily about Omega. Omega is still my brand that I enjoy talking about and following the most. I prefer Omega brand. I prefer Rolex watches. I wish I could combine the pair, but the world isn't perfect. So I'm still going to be doing content. I'm still going to be doing live streams. I'm still going to be doing videos. I'm still going to be doing reviews. But I'm also going to be reviewing these watches heavily and sharing life experiences with these watches, showing you marks, dents, scrapes, scratches, chips that I'm going to be putting into these watches over the years. And of course, as new releases come out, I'll be doing videos about those. I'm still going to be active. I'm not retiring from YouTube. I'm just retiring from buying watches. I've owned somewhere between 50 and 60 watches now. And, a day has to come where you have to say, you know what? I think I've just reached the point of absolute pure happiness. I don't feel that I can better what I've got. And I'm at that point. If I was to buy any more watches now, it would be simply for the sake of spending money and for the sake of buying, for the buying's sake. So I don't think that's a smart move. So let me know what you guys think. Leave me a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to check out the rest of the channel. Like and subscribe. And yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. So thanks for watching. This is Showcase Watches, and I will see you in the next one. Take it easy.